Okay friends, it's time to get started on our job. One of the first things we want to do is go ahead and remove this cover right here. To do that, I'm going to come right over here to the oil fill, grab onto this entire shaft right there, and go ahead and spin it right off. We don't want to only remove the cover because we do need this area right here to come out of the way. After that, we can carefully lift this up and remove it from the vehicle. With that out of the way, we have a nice clear view of our IAC valve. That's going to be located right here on top of the throttle body area. Now for this, of course, we're going to want to disconnect our electrical connector. So right along the front, there's a little tab that I can grab with my thumb, carefully pull that to the side, and remove it. Every time you remove an electrical connector, just give it a quick inspection, make sure you don't see any corrosion. This looks fine, so I'll set it aside. Now next, what we're going to look for is our two mounting bolts that hold this to the throttle body. There's one right here, and there's one right there. For those, you're going to use a T20 Torx bit. And that's essentially going to look just like this piece right here. It's a star. Now we can go ahead and grab onto that IAC valve. We're going to give it a little wiggle and remove it from the throttle body area. There it is, friends. Let's just go ahead and make sure we clean up the hole where that IAC valve was. Make sure it's clean and free of any debris where the seal needs to be. Once you get the outer portion where the seal is supposed to be, it's a good idea to go ahead and try to reach right inside there with a nice clean rag and just try to wipe that out as well. Commonly, you're going to find a whole bunch of black carbon located in there. Let's see if I can get this thing wiped up. There we are. All right, now it's going to be time to go ahead and insert our IAC valve, or idle air control valve. You're going to notice when I start putting this in, I have this connector facing towards the driver's side. It doesn't want to, of course, face in the opposite direction. That wouldn't make any sense. Also, what you're going to notice is I went ahead and I put a little bit of lubricant right on that seal right there. You could use a little bit of motor oil or just a little bit of grease, but whatever you use, make sure it's not something that can get into the engine and cause any damage. Now I'll just go ahead and slide this right into position, give it a little twist along the way. Once you feel as though it seems like it's in there, go ahead and take your two new bolts with the lock washer first and then the flat washer, and go ahead and put that right up on there. We'll start in both of these mounting bolts. Once they're both started, we can snug them up. It's always a good idea to go ahead and start these in by hand, of course. That's bottomed out, nice and snug. Just double check them, make sure they're both secure. Once you have it mounted, go ahead and press in that connector. Listen for that click, give it a little tug to make sure that's secure. All right, now that we have the car back together, let's go ahead and put on this shield. What you're going to pay attention to is this rubber nub right here needs to fit into this corresponding hole on the back side of the engine right here. Slide it right in there. Now we're going to bring the forward aspect down, and we're going to slide it right over this position so you can see the fill hole. Go ahead and take that fill, we'll line it up, turn it clockwise, and make sure everything's nice and tight. Okay friends, we got the car back together. What's left to do now? Now you're going to want to go ahead and start up the vehicle and let it run for a couple minutes. What we want to pay attention to is to find out if there's any funny noises, if the engine seems like it's running oddly, maybe a little bit of a misfire, or even if you have a check engine light. Assuming all that seems fine, take it for a road test. Thanks for watching.